Hello, welcome back. This is the Love After Lockup Season 1, Episodes 3 through 5 review. Before I begin, I hope you guys have been having a good day. And I would like to recommend a show that me and my boyfriend finished last night. We binged it over 2 days. But The Sweet Home on Netflix. I know it's a foreign film, but I like foreign films. Some of them. The only one I haven't liked is probably The Wailing. That was I didn't even make it to the hour of the movie. To me it was boring. But I would recommend watching Sweet Home if you like foreign films and I guess a different take on zombies and blood and whatever. And also, if anyone has any recommendations of shows to watch and review, just go ahead and leave them in the comments. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. Of course, I have my notebook that has all the names. So, because they added two people to these episodes, so I guess let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first off will be I guess we'll go ahead and do Tony and Angela. They didn't have a lot of screen time over the 3 episodes. But I will have to say, she makes me laugh in this. It's not very comical, but I kind of feel a little bad for her because she said that she chooses to give her love to inmates. So I kind of feel like she's done this before Tony, which is weird. But anyways, he was supposed to actually get out, and he didn't, and he's waiting for them to tell him when he's supposed to get out because she showed up at some truck stop or bus station or something to wait for him, and he never showed. And of course, Angela's friend Tommy is a little worried. He thinks that she's being used, which is probably true, but you never know. I mean, I've been surprised before. So I guess we'll just see how that season unfolds. Then we'll start with Dominic and Mary. So apparently they were together before he went to prison, and then he went to prison, and then he got out, and she actually was getting conjugate. They were allowed to have sex. Apparently, I cannot speak today. They were allowed sex while he was in prison. So, but now that he's out, he's on probation, and she feels like he's a totally different person. Which I mean is probably true. I don't know how probation stuff works. I've never been to prison. I've never dated anybody who's been on probation. A few of my friends, ended up on a probation type thing, as like a warning. So, but I don't really know how it all works, and if it's really that strict on you have to have your whole day planned. I just, and that's fine. I like having my day planned too, but I kind of feel like he could have just called his probational officer to let him know that there was an added stop that he didn't know about, but he kind of was being a little distant and dickish. Please excuse my language, but there really is no other way that I could really explain that, because she took him tuxedo shopping and he chose to basically say he wanted to get out. Yeah, it looked nice. He didn't care about the wedding, and it was making him mad that she kept on asking about it. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I personally would not wait, nor would I deal with somebody who gave me the cold shoulder all the time. You should be happy to see me. I mean, obviously I know that things change when you've been together for a while, but if you haven't seen me in months, you should be happy to see me. So I don't know. I'm a little iffy on them, and I kind of feel like Mary should just go ahead and cut the cord and be with somebody who actually would be excited to have a future and to look forward to having a future with her, not this I don't know when it's going to happen and be all melatonined and think that everything's just making him mad and irritating. Nobody has time for that kind of energy. All right, so now we'll jump over to Allah and James. So a part of her probation, in order for her to, I guess, move to another state, is she has to meet 2 out of 3 requirements. Have a full time job, have a home or a immediate family. So obviously she'll be moving out to Chicago with James if she can get the full time job out there. And so he basically sets up a interview with a modeling agency for her, which she's already apprehensive about anyways, because she got into heroin while she was modeling and then she never stopped. So she doesn't want to do that. And then of course she got sick on the way there. And then they had a fight about, well, him not really listening. But of course, she did meet. She did introduce James to her family. He has not yet done the same. He did introduce him. He did introduce her to his friend Michael, I think. But that was really about it. And so she did the pregnancy test because she thought she was pregnant, and it was negative. But everyone knows that it can be a false negative, it can be a false positive. Sometimes it's just too early to tell, especially if it just kind of happened. I don't think that I don't even think I knew I was pregnant with my kids until like a month, 2 months in. No, a month in with my daughter, because I had morning sickness the whole 10 months I was pregnant. It was terrible. But so I don't know. They had a fight, and she just didn't really see herself not really having a future where she was not authentically involved in someone's life, because he's kind of kept her a secret, which I would be upset about too. I mean, if I'm in prison, just go ahead and tell them, hey, I'm in prison, but you're going to love them and blah, 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 because this is why I love them. And I understand James's point of view. Once you have set a bar for somebody, people don't really see past whatever they've been told. So, of course, it's always best to let people make their own assumptions and judgments and perceptions of other people. But to be authentically involved in someone's life, you need to meet the parents. You need to have a life together. You need to be involved. And I just feel like if he just goes ahead and just tells his parents, that way it's out in the open, they don't feel lied to, whatever, it'll be done. But I guess we'll just see how all of that goes, because right now, where they ended, they were in a fight. So, then we're going to jump over to, I'm trying to decide, because the last 3 couples I feel very whatever about. So, we'll just go ahead and do Scott and Lizzie. So, in episode 3, I think, or episode 4, one of those, Lizzie was supposed to be released, but she never got released. And he found out in the episode 6 that she was apparently facing possibly of having her sentence extended to 12 years, because she was found with heroin, meth, and a cell phone. And he even said that he sends her a cell phone every 6 months after they take it, because it makes her happy or whatever. So he feels a little responsible, but he did feel like he was being played, and so he drove 5 hours to basically pick her up, and she did not, well, obviously was not released. So she called and basically did not know what was going on. She was waiting to hear from everybody, which I think is a little weird, because I kind of feel like you would know if somebody found heroin or meth, and a cell phone in your little jail cell bunk area or whatever, but I don't know. So, of course, they're kind of up in the air. I don't know if she gets released or not, because I thought that I saw something about her getting released, but I may have just been seeing things. So, either way, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I understand we don't want to be alone, but I ain't got time. He's already put 2 years in there, and I know half a year wouldn't really be anything, but 12? Adding 12 years to her sentence, he would be dead before she got out. Not to say that he would die, but the possibility of him not being there is it's up there. It's possible. I mean, anything can happen. So I don't know. I'm a little on the fence, so I guess we'll just see how that goes too. Obviously, I think I still have like an episode left. So um I think, or three. Oh, and I'm sorry. I did 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. I haven't watched 6 or 7. It's been a day. I'm sorry. So obviously I still have 2 episodes left, so I guess we'll see how it goes. Um all right, so now we're going to go to, I guess we'll just go ahead and get Lamar and Andrea out of the way. So I'm on the fence with them too, but this is more of a, I'm leaning towards the fact that Andrea does not need to marry Lamar. So when he got released, they ended up in a hotel, and of course, before they even get to the hotel, they end up at a car wash to wash the car, and the chick there was flirting with Lamar, and Andrea was not playing it. She was basically telling him to go get loving from that girl, and if he wanted to work, so he needed to go to the girl. I don't really know how else. I don't know how to really explain how ridiculously insecure and stupid it sounds. I mean, honestly, let me go ahead and say something. If somebody flirts with your partner, I kind of feel like you should be a little happy. Not so much happy, but you have a good looking man. And even though, even if nobody flirts with them, you still know that they're good looking. It's not what I'm saying, but it's kind of hard to explain. But being jealous about it, as long as the flirtatious nature is not being reciprocated, then there's no reason for you to be upset. You should just laugh and be like, well, I find you attractive, somebody else finds you attractive, but you're mine, so haha, whatever. Being jealous and insecure is not going to get you anywhere. So in the hotel, she's obviously said that in a Mormon culture, you cannot have premarital sex, which is pretty much any other religion. But I mean, we've all been there. I don't know a lot of people who waited for sex, marriage to have sex, but whatever. And she felt like she was getting kicked out of the church if she had sex with him. Said everything but. And she's already said that she's going to introduce Lamar to a Mormonism lifestyle, household, all that stuff. And like I've said in the last episode's review that I did, you cannot force your religion on anybody. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. So but, and this is the real funny kicker of these episodes, because Lamar has a daughter, and when he got out, they were obviously still in California because he cannot leave. Apparently, his probation officer said that he cannot leave, Los Angeles. So his daughter was going to meet them for a celebratory Jesus party. I cannot speak today. I do apologize. So Lamar apparently made a promise to Andrea that she would never have to deal with his ex. They have a kid together. So when Andrea found out that the baby mama was gonna be there with her daughter, she got up and left and made some excuse about why she had to leave and left. And she drove to some parking lot area, and that was that. So let me say this. The baby mama said that Andrea, as a mother, should respect the fact that she was not going to just send her daughter somewhere with someone she did not know. And I am the exact same way. If I don't know you, you will not be around my kids without me being there. It's just one of those things. Now, Andrea made this statement in episode 5 that she was not going to sit across from a woman that Lamar had sex with. So, and I started thinking, okay, but if your kid's father was in the picture, it should not matter. They are your kids. Your kids come before anybody else, above everything else. What they need, that's it. You know, your kids are your life. They are your number one. That's that. So the fact that she she said that she was not going to deal with a mom that she wants a relationship with the daughter, but you have to have a relationship with the mom too. They're obviously not together. Obviously, Lamar has moved on, and she's probably moved on too. So they're cordial, they're friends because they have a kid together. Now, don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. If your partner is a terrible, terrible person, then I totally understand you not being friends with them. But when you have kids, you co-parent regardless. You get over whatever it is and you deal with it for the kids. So, after Andrea called Lamar and was basically like, hey, I'm lost, you need to come get me or whatever, I don't know where I am. And they end up in a parking lot and they start arguing. And he kind of bucks up at her. I don't really know how else to really say that I was not fearful for Andrea, but I kind of thought like I felt like Lamar was going to kind of take a swing. Not saying he would, but it was the way that he was walking, talking. And I understand you've been in jail for 18 years. The prison mindset, you've got yourself to look out for. But I don't know. Obviously, he didn't hit her. And Andrea basically said that was it. He has one more chance, blah, blah. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous. And I know that he apologized. And her friend, Michelle, had a really good point, is that people are sorry, but the fact that it can happen and people don't actually think about what they're doing, of course they're going to be sorry, but it can happen again. I can't tell you how many times did my ex apologize for slamming me into a wall or choking me out on the floor or anything like that. But if you allow that to keep happening to yourself, and I say that from someone who got out, it does not get better. And so I'm a little fearful. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I hope that Andrea does not end up marrying him. I'm not going to lie. All right, so now we're going to get to the last couple. Garrett and Jonah. So Garrett ends up buying a car for like $13,000. He gets paid server wages, and so obviously it's not a lot of money, unless you're getting tipped like really well and they actually pay you a decent wage. Because I know here in Georgia, I think servers get what, $2.75, $4 or something like that an hour. It's nothing. It's really nothing. So he ends up buying a car, didn't even consult Jonah about it. But here was the actual drama. He went to a strip club with his friends to get loose and said that he could now finally drink, so he was going to drink a little and have fun. And he did not come home. Apparently, they had made a deal and a promise that he would not stay out past 2, which you shouldn't be doing that anyways when you're in a serious relationship. Like I said in the last video, when you're with somebody, it's totally different than when you're by yourself, So he did not come home. She went to bed, went to work the next morning, and he was still not there. But of course, he said he had a shift to work at the little bar place or restaurant or whatever that he works at, so he had to go straight there without sleeping. I don't know how most people feel about strip clubs. I'm not a fan of them, and I think that unless that's what you're into, you should be going there if you're in a relationship. But that's just me. I don't care what you do, but Jonah had made it pretty clear that there should be no reason that he's going to any places like that, and especially not even coming home. So they're mad at each other literally all the episodes. And then he proposes to her at the end of the 5th episode. And I kind of felt like it was just done to appease a situation because he didn't know what else to do. Like, you can say you're sorry all you want, but actions speak louder than words. So they're now engaged. I hope it's the ring that she wants because Jonah is very much like, I want this, I want that, and that is it. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I obviously know that her dad is not happy about meeting him because literally when they met in the beginning of the second episode, he was not happy about it. So honestly, there was a lot of stuff happening, and I don't even think that I'm on board with any of these couples anymore. So I guess I'll see what the last two have to offer. So I guess that's it for this video review. As always, I hope you guys continue to have a good day, and don't forget to look out for more videos.